Hey guys, welcome back yet to another episode of Inspired Minds, guys. Please help me and welcome Luigi Wilson. Luigi?
Thank you
How-
so much, Mr. Caden Kluter, for this moment. It's really, truly an inspiration of what you've done. And I'm really a fan of your work and what you do. And I'm so proud of what you've done and accomplished and what you are still doing out there. So I'm truly honored to be a host or a guest on your show.
Thank you so much, Luigi. This is a huge opportunity for me as well. And I know you one of the people out there that had such amazing art and just so much love that you give, so much energy. And I'm really, really grateful for that, Uncle Luigi. Yeah, walk everyone through who you are and what it is that you're busy doing.
All right. My name is, well, a lot of people might not know my full name, but it is on Facebook. It's Luigi Keegan Wilson. Currently an e-business manager. I'm also now the head or leader of our Samuel Kids, which is our Sunday school. I do head that program. We do have a very good curriculum for the kids. That's every Sundays. Sunday mornings that we have our Samuel Kids, which is on, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And Uncle Luigi, now I know you've been through a lot, right? Walk everyone through with where everything started for you to where you are today.
Awesome stuff. Well, I'm going to go back to as about when I was 13 years old. I was watching TV with my mom, and this ad came on from Old Mutual, and these guys were like filing policy files. Those back in the day, it was called roller skates, and they were like having the roller skates on, and they were going down. And I'm like, Mom, how cool is this that you can actually roller skate at your own workplace? That is like something that is so uncalled for. I mean, I've never seen this in my life. And I said to her at the age of 13 that I wonder if I could get to work there one day. And little did I know, 3 years later, or 4 years later, actually, I was about 17. I was just turning 18 that year. I matriculated in 1999. It was February 2000. I actually got the opportunity to work there. That was my first job, my very first job, because it was something I desired from the heart. And God blessed me with that. It was like exactly immediately my first job. And then I asked my boss, I said, can I bring my rollerblades to work? He's like, yeah, sure, of course. Why not? It's a tradition. Back in the day, they used to have roller skates. So I brought my rollerblades and I started filing with the rollerblades and I was going up and down the aisles. It was just an exciting, it was just really an awesome experience that I could do that. And at the time we were 55 temps at, it was like 11.55 an hour that I received. It was very little, but it was something that I could at least have. And I felt grateful for it because at that time, my mom stopped working because she couldn't work anymore. And I had to find a job so that I could provide for the family. So I couldn't really go and study further. I eventually then started there. We were about 55 temps. And I noticed that when somebody went on leave, they would say, oh, we're actually fine without you. And they said, it's okay. You don't have to come back the Monday. And I was like, whoa. So if somebody takes leave and they see they can't be without this person, they let them go. So I thought I'll never take leave. I then eventually worked there for 4 years. I then decided to, up my game a bit, try and see if I can apply for other jobs. Nobody wanted me because they all said that I didn't have the experience. So I thought, okay, I need to do something different. And then something came along to be able to work in the UK. And they will supply accommodation and they sugarcoated like a lot of things. And I thought, now this is the opportunity for me to be able to get to where I need to be. I eventually got to the UK. I got a job there, but it was door-to-door sales. And obviously door-to-door sales, and it was commission only. So if you don't sell anything, you don't get paid. And here I was not getting any sales. I was getting like one a day. And it wasn't just enough. It was basically barely enough just for my rent and a little bit of food, but I had nothing further on after that. I then decided, and I made a choice after 3 months, that I was going to move to London, but I had no place to stay. I eventually found a friend, and he organized something with his aunt, and his aunt said I can only stay there for 2 weeks because her daughter's coming back from Canada, and that's it. I said, it's fine. I'll accept anything because I don't have anything at the time. He then organized me an interview at this company called The Listening Company, and I aced the interview and I got the job. But little did I know, the lady that told me that I could only stay there for 2 weeks, it was a test, because she wanted to see my personality. She wanted to see, was I a clean person? Did I have mannerisms? Did I have respect? Did I adhere to the times that she adhered to me and say, I need to be in this time, I need to be mindful of herself and her husband? And I did all those things. And I didn't have a place to stay after 2 weeks. She called me in and she said, Luigi, you've shown me that you have the utmost respect. You are such a kind person. You look after yourself. You pick up after yourself. You clean up after yourself. I've never seen anybody like this before. That was just a test. You can stay here for as long as you want to. And I was like, wow. I was like, really, wow. I said, Aunt Ines, I'm so grateful because I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't know anybody. The only thing that I knew was to treat you with kindness and respect. And that is what I've been taught. And she's like, no, you're a good person, and I would love you to stay further. I eventually then stayed on with her. Now, the job that I received, they told me that it was only going to be for 3 months. And that's it. I said, okay. I worked hard. I remained and said, this is not 3 months. This might just be a test. I kept working. And after the 3 months, they let everybody else go besides me. And they said, Luigi, you were the only one that worked and see that it was no tomorrow. You made sure that the work was done. We want to keep you on for a further permanent contract because we actually tested the others. The others didn't work because they only thought it was 3 months. But you worked up until there was no tomorrow. But that was a test. And I was like, wow. Then I got a permanent job. And eventually things then obviously went on. From there, I then moved to, that was in Scotland when I first started with the door-to-door sales. Then I moved to London. And then I moved to Nottingham. And I just, for instance, called this company and said, I'm looking for a job. And they said, yeah, no, we're looking for people. And this is the interview. I was like, but I just called for a job. Like, yeah, this is the interview. And I was like, wow, okay, what do I do now? And I just carried on and being myself. And they said, you got the job. When can you be here? And I was like, okay, I'm still in London. It's like, no, we'll wait for you. Don't worry. I eventually got there and I'm the nicest people ever. I met this lady in the store one day and she's like, where are you from? I was like, from Cape Town. And she just had a conversation with me for like half an hour. I was like, wow, this is something that you don't get every day. And then basically, to cut a long story short, I then eventually finished off in the UK. I was there from 2004 up until 2007. Then I came back and then I tried something because I gained a lot of experience in the UK. Then I went back to the company in Old Mutual that I applied for. They told me that they didn't want me because I didn't have any experience. Immediately when I got into the interview, they're like, wow, you've got so much experience. You've been in the UK and you've done your psychometrical test and you scored like 98%. And this is really awesome. We want you. And then I said to them, 4 years ago, you guys didn't want me because I never had experience. I was only in policy files. And I said, did you see that? They said, oh, no, we didn't. Then they went back to me, oh, what, you worked here? I was like, yes, I did. But you never wanted me. But now you do, because I then didn't take no for an answer. I went and I upskilled myself and came back and then told you that I could do it. And they're like, wow. Then I only worked there for 7 months because I was afraid of temping again. And then I left that job and went to and work for Absa Vehicle Finance. And I got a permanent job there. I then wasn't happy. And then another job came along. But they told me again, Luigi, this is going to be a pay cut. And it's only probation for 6 months. Now I told myself, what is more important, my happiness, or do I just risk it and take the risk and take up the challenge? And I wasn't happy at Absa. So I then took the risk and thought, I want to be happy, take a pay cut, and see where this goes. That was in 2008. It's now 2021. I'm still working for that same company.
Wow.
Even though they said that it was only 6 months, but yet it was just another test because they gave us something to do that couldn't be done in 2 years. and they told us that we needed to complete in 6 months. The team and I completed every single thing in 6 months. And they gave us then obviously the opportunity and said to us that you guys are now permanent because you guys passed the test. So I'm still working for that company since 2008, September, and it's coming up to now, almost 13 years.
Wow.
So yeah, no matter what people say to you, it might look bleak in the beginning, but you are really your own destiny. You align your own destiny. And if you show people that you really work hard, that you would be able to get to where you need to be.
Wow.
But then in 2012, something really bad happened to me. I got stabbed in 2012 in August. It was like one evening, 6:30. I then eventually landed in Cape Gate Hospital. I drove myself to the hospital. But what I did was I noticed I couldn't breathe. And all I thought of was, I saw in the movies, they take like a cloth or a wet cloth and they close the wound so that air doesn't escape. So immediately when I closed the wound, I could breathe. I eventually got into my car and I drove all the way to the hospital. That car is called Susie today because I named her after my mom, Susie. The Golf 3, I don't know if you still remember the Golf 3, the blue one.
Yes.
I still got it.
Wow.
She drove me all the way to hospital. And then I eventually got there, and then I said to them, I need to be treated by a life hospital because my medical aid covers only 100% with life. I eventually then got to Vincent Pallotti, which was in Pinelands, only at about 11 o'clock the evening, from 6:30 to 11 o'clock. So I was bleeding at the time internally. I eventually got into the casualty side, or the trauma side. All I remember when I got there, the doctors said that they need to take a scan. They walked away and immediately turned around. The only thing I heard, there's no time. And the next thing I knew, it was 3:30 in the morning. I woke up in ICU and I asked the nurse, where am I? She's like, you in ICU, you just had a major operation. So basically they had to cut open from obviously my chest down to my navel in order to get to the actual wound. So I was stabbed right through my large intestine, small intestine, and there was a small blood vessel cut from my stomach that was bleeding down into the abdomen. So I had about 2.5 liters of blood laying in my abdomen. The doctor said that they needed to operate immediately because I was about to go and I was about to bleed out. I then said to the nurse, I'm getting cold. Can you please bring me a skinny? I only wear skinnies. She's like, no, you must still be under the local anesthetic because why would you want to wear it? I said, it's fine. I just need anything. But my recovery process really, after that, it was just another story. Sorry, I'm just going on. Was there any other question that you wanted to ask?
No, go for it, no problem. And then,
thank you so much, Kate.
Luigi, what was the process like, the healing process? Because that's all about having patience, right? Because you can't
Yes.
force yourself to stand up immediately after that happened. So, who was the people that actually helped you, you know?
Yeah, awesome. Basically, I couldn't even bathe myself. That's how bad it was. I couldn't bathe myself. The nurses had to bathe me because I couldn't move. I had the drip. There was a drain on the side of me. The healing process, I can tell you now, that it's so important to have family, that it's so important to have the right group of friends. What I mean by the right group of friends is, well, your mom and your dad, Valencia and Colin, Greg, Charmian, Allison, I think, what's his name? Can't get to his name now, but he was there as well. I think Marco was there. Elmry, Cruden. His name was Reno.
Yes,
I mean,
Reina.
they came to see me in hospital, and to see that my friends was there in support of being there for me, it just gave me a different approach and a different perspective in life. I mean, my family was there, my mom, my sisters, each and everyone that was praying for me. I really greatly appreciate it. But to have friends like that stands by you, and that was part of my healing process, knowing that my friends was there and that they care. So I really appreciate what they've done for me.
Wow.
And yes, like you said, patience is very important. Patience is very important, but God was also part of my healing process. He was with me
Mhm.
all the way.
Speaking about God, Luigi, what's it like becoming saved and walking into light? It's one of the most amazing things, but it's not easy, because we live in a
Yes,
worldly world, So walk
indeed.
us through that. What is it like? Yeah.
Well, right after I was busy with my healing process, I then went back to the doctors. Um, he then explained to me what happened. He said to me that what we had to do was we had to take out all your organs out of your body, and we had to clean them all separately and put them back as a puzzle. And I looked at him and was like,
Wow.
I
Wow.
didn't know what he did. He said, yes, we had to take all your organs out of your body and we had to clean it and we had to put it all back again. I'm like, you speaking like it's just something out of the ordinary. But for him, it is, because that's his work. That's it that he does. He's passionate about these things and he's liking to say, well, he loves saving people. So the healing process was painful. It was very painful. I was lost for a long time and I felt like I was deserted in terms of, what really happened and what really I was like I went to a dark path. I started drinking, partying. I just wanted to forget about the incident, but it's like I didn't want to go away. But then I found healing in November 2012 when I got saved and baptized. And then I found Christ. Then my healing process just started getting easier and better because I knew now that he was a part of my life. And that for me was really the turning point in my life. I stopped drinking and I stopped a lot of things. And it just really made me feel just such a better person afterwards when I found Christ.
Wow. And what role does your family play in your life, Luigi? Because I know family's key.
No, family is very important, very important. And for me, like, it says in the Bible that, you need to, how can I say, well, for me, it's a very prolific part in my life because without them, I'm not the man I am today. I grew up with three ladies in my life, my mom and my two sisters. My dad left us when I was about 7 years old, but I was brought up by the three of them. And they showed me love, they showed me compassion, and everything that stands for, especially my mom. I mean, I played football back in the day. My mother never missed a football match. She was there every single game I played. She made sure of it. Even if I played for school, lunchtime, she would tell her boss, she just needs to drop an order somewhere there in Worcester, but I'll be back soon. But she came to support me. And for me to see that a mother that cares and loves for me and my sisters, that for me is so important, that they were there consistently. I mean, the Bible says that we need to honor our mothers and our fathers.
Mm.
That family for me equals favor. For those who honor their mother and father, you will always find favor with God. And he
Wow.
says that he will make your days longer on this land. So by honoring your mother and your father, you will always be highly favored.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Luigi, out of all of the years that you have been alive, what has been the biggest lesson that you have learned so far?
I would say that God uses bad for good intentions.
Mm.
That is the lesson that I've learned in life, that he uses bad for good intentions. He uses negative situations and turns it into a positive outcome. That is what I believe. That every test is an abbreviation for testimony
Wow.
that comes in your life. I'm currently engaged at the moment, and how that happened, something bad happened to me. I thought I was having a heart attack one night. And then I called the ambulance at 3 in the morning. The ambulance came to fetch me. My heart rate was at about 170, 180 beats per minute. I then eventually got to casualty and they admitted me. The next day I was in ICU. And then I saw this girl that stays in the same complex as me. And I'm like, are you working here? And she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, no, I had like a kind of a panic attack and I'm now in ICU. And she's like, no, I'll come back to you now. And she came back with a flavored water, Mentos, and a snacker. 3 of my favorite things. And I'm like, how did you know? She's like, I asked God, what can I get you? And she brought me these 3 things. I said, no, this is like God sent. This
Wow.
is like a God sent. So eventually we started, speaking to each other, and, and one thing led to another. I asked her, like, can you be my girlfriend? And I then eventually went to go and met her parents, did it the old school way and say, can I go out with your daughter? And they said, you know what? Nobody has really done that in a long time. And this is so respectful. So they said yes. And then eventually I asked her to be my wife. And I did the same thing, went to her parents and said, can I have her hand in marriage? And they accepted it because they said, you're such a respectful person by asking us before you actually do these things. So yeah, when bad thing happens, good things come from it. And that's what I believe. So God won't allow you to go through something bad because I know something good will come from that.
And then they say there's always light at the end of the dark tunnel, eh? Yeah.
Oh, yes. No, for sure. I mean, there will always be light piercing through the darkness.
That's the thing. And I think in that moment, Luigi, where there's darkness, you need to remain positive. And I think that is so important, and that you keep going, and that you keep going. And for those people watching, Luigi, what advice or message would you love to share with those people watching? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to learn and grow,
The most important thing for me is, and this will always stick to me, and I always live by this motto, that treat others how you would love to be treated. And that mannerisms we've been taught it was there for a reason. Because at the end of the day, once you treat somebody else as you would like to be treated, you will never go wrong. Once you respect somebody else, respect is only it's not gained, it's earned at the end of the day. So you need to treat others with respect. If you want respect, treat the others with respect as well. And to have discipline, determination, and take care of people. When Jesus Christ came to earth, it was never about him. It was always about the people, to save them from the clutches of the enemy. And if you can save a life or change someone's perspective to a positive outlook, then you are a winner.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Luigi, you're a Manchester United supporter. I am too. Walk us through, what do you think of the team? What do you think of the team? What can we do differently this season? Should we have made more signings? What do you think?
I think Ole is on a good path. I mean, we started off the season very good. We haven't even started with Sancho, the new signing. He only came on late in the game, like 75th minute. He's really on a good path, because what he did was he structured, he's really rebuilding the team. He said what has happened in the past 7 years is like they just wanted the team to be good. But when I watched the documentary of Sir Alex Ferguson, of how he started the team and how he grew the team, I mean, they were almost relegated. But he built that team because he told them, trust in me, I'm going to build this team with the youngsters, with the old veterans to have a bit of experience, and also the people that I can trust on. And he did that, and he built a team. Same thing Ole is doing right now. He built a team for the past 3 years. And now you can see that they're actually playing very, very well. I mean, yes, we won Leeds last year 6-2. We've done it again now 5-1. But the real test will be Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City of all. But I'm just grateful that Man City lost the first game of the season. That's an awesome start. And Arsenal as well. I'm happy for Brentford. They really played well. But I think we are on a good path, man. I'm really seeing that we might be able to win the league this year.
Yep. And I totally agree. We can say we need to make this signing, that signing. We had Memphis, we had Di Maria, we had so many big names. But when they came to United, it didn't happen. And I think confidence. I see confidence when I see Manchester United play. If I look at McTominay, if I look at, there's so many. So confidence, how important is it to have confidence, as a football player as well?
Yeah, no, it's very important. I mean, your confidence is really, it depends on yourself. Because, I mean, McTominay said, there was an interview he had, he said that I think it was Mourinho came to him and he says, listen, I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way you handle things. He said he could have stepped back and felt bad about it, but he stepped up and said, I can change. I can do something different. And he did. And now he's like basically playing first team all the time. He said he was benched. He was benched by Mourinho, but he never stopped training. He never stopped giving up until Ole came and saw his commitment. He didn't allow somebody to bring him down. He said, I'm sorry, you will never be able to tell me who I am.
Wow.
I am my own person, and I will be able to tell you on the pitch who I am. And he did. And look at him. And I mean, he came from the young age at Manchester United. I mean, Alex Ferguson went to his house and sat with his family, and that for him was a sheer motivation. That Sir Alex Ferguson came to sit on his sofa,
And when
and
I
he
look
said,
at
"I'm going to be playing."
Yep, and when I look at him play, Luigi, I see a man now. I see with a lot of potential. You know, obviously his attitude needs to be consistent. He need to be focused. But wow, beautiful. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You know, and
Yeah, no, it just
we finished second as well. So there's a lot of positives.
no, there is a lot of positives. I mean, it's been second in a long time, and it's been a long time coming, but it's also because of the commitment of the players. And like you said, it's also about your commitment and also being, you know, what is that word you use? With a C again. I can't even get to it now. But yeah, it's mostly just like your confidence. There it is. Yeah. It all depends on your confidence levels. And like Bruno said, he says you're only as good as your last game. And he always tries to improve every single time. People said, oh, he's going to score a lot of penalties this year. But what did he do? He scored goals in open play. All of his goals was in open play and a hat-trick on the first game. But that's how you overcome these haters. You show them something differently. And you prove to them that you are better than what they actually say you are.
Yep, 100%. Luigi, before I ask my last question, where can everyone find you on social media?
They can find me on Facebook. My full name, Luigi Keegan Wilson. I'm also on Instagram as Squidgy0705. But I'm mostly on Facebook, but I really don't post a lot of things. I mostly post things from our church, which is our Bethel Fellowship, EBF. And I also post like our Sunday schools on our EBF Facebook group. But I belong to EBF, and I mostly post our meetings because we have prayer meetings like every night. We pray for people for healing, whoever needs like encouragement. So we do it every night from 9 till 9:30. And then in the mornings, we pray as well. We have like Holy Communion, and we have the word and also decrees that we do every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So yes, I'm involved a lot with the church, and just so that we can help people out there. There's a lot of people that needs some upliftment. They need encouragement, especially in this time that we are living right now. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been infected by COVID. So we try to, you know, pray for these people every hour. We have somebody that prays, and in 9 o'clock the evening, they will come on Zoom, and then we will pray for them. Whatever name has been mentioned, we will cover them under the blood of Jesus, and just pray for their healing so that they can feel that there is somebody there for them and praying for them.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Luigi, what impact would you love to leave or have in the world?
I would just like to, like I said, just to spread positivity over the world, you know, just spread positivity over the world. And people shouldn't change their identities. Never change your identity. Never change who you are. Beautiful. Even though if something happens to you, even though if something bad happens to you, don't change who you are. Remain that personality that you have, that amazing personality, because that will pull you through. That's what will thrive. You will thrive through any obstacle that you might face in life. I mean, I've had a lot of things this was just like a little drop in the ocean of things that has happened to me. I mean, there was once I was pointed a gun at, and this guy wanted to take my phone. It was here in Johannesburg, and all I said to him, I cover you under the blood of Jesus. And he looked at me and he said, oh, okay, yeah. And then he moved back and he ran away. The enemy will flee when you speak the blood of Jesus over you. When you call out the name, there's no greater name than Jesus. Amen. The enemy will flee. So if
Amen.
I could spread positivity and uplift somebody and take them out of that negative state and have the positive frame of mind, then I know I've done what I could do.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Luigi, for this opportunity. I'm sure everyone out there that's watching as well really, really, really appreciate it. And guys, take the time to go on Facebook, go on Insta, wherever it is. Go look at Luigi Wilson's shirts and look at everything. Beautiful person. Me and myself and my family, we're really, really grateful and to have you
Wow.
in our lives and well. And keep going. Stay positive. Keep praying. There's a lot of power in prayer. A lot of power.
A lot of
So
power indeed.
thank you so much, Luigi.
Yeah, no problem. Kaden, I wouldn't change anything, as anything like the lessons that we've learned in life, every mistake that I've made or learned, it's not for you to say that you're a loser. It's for you to learn from it so that you don't do that mistake ever again. They've taught me the best lessons in life. Mistakes are not there so that they are there so that we can learn from it. So that you can tell yourself that I will never do that mistake ever again because that was there for me to make myself better. So it's not like, I don't like the way Rocky says it in his movies. It's not how hard you get hit. It's how quick you can get up after being hit hard.
Yep.
That's the important thing.
Thank you so much, Luigi. I really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. It was an honor and a pleasure to be on your show, Kaden. You are
No
really
problem.
inspiring minds. You are really doing an amazing thing. I look at your statuses in terms of how you're bettering people's lives, making sure that they live a life of healthy and being positive, and that the body is a temple of God. And if you look after the body, then you will make sure that your life will go on further and further. So what you're doing for others, I applaud you. Keep doing what you're doing. You are inspiration to many, Kaden. I am so proud of the man that you've become today.
Thank
And
you.
how you inspire other people and inspiring their minds that they can do better, and that where they are right now is not where they need to be. They can be in a better place, and you are achieving that. I pray that you will go further and further, and that you will get many people that will be following you so that you can steer them into the right direction, because your ship will never sink.
Thank you, Uncle Luigi. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, Luigi.
You have the utmost respect, and that's what I like about you. You care for your mom and your dad and your sister and everyone in your family. That's so important to me, and you do all of those things. So keep up the good work, Mr. Klutter.
I'll try my best to, Uncle Luigi.
You don't even try, you're doing it already.
God bless, Uncle Luigi. Send my regards.
God bless you more than you've already been blessed.
Thank you, Uncle Luigi. Have
All
a
right.
good evening further.
You too. Many angels on your pillow later.
Thank you, Luigi. You too.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.